Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another book review, and this book is actually, the book I'm going to review now is actually a celebrity biography, and it is by Gary Barlow, and it is called A Better Me. I've got a wee picture of it here. This was another book that I really enjoyed actually, and I have to say before I start talking about this, I have to say I came to this book very sort of unbiased because it's not, I'm not a Take That fan. I just read the blurb on it and I read that it was all about his eating disorder and his bulimia and his depression, and so I was very interested to read about that. And the thing about it is, reading celebrity biographies can be very hit and miss. Well, for me, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I think when a celebrity has an audiobook, a lot of the time they will narrate it because their fans want to hear their voice. And a lot of the time I think it doesn't work. If the celebrity is not an actor, they can sound extremely bored when they're narrating a book for 10 hours solid. You'd nearly wish that they'd just got a really good actor to narrate it. But thankfully, Gary Barlow reads this really well. It comes across really nice. He doesn't sound bored. He uses all the right inflections and whatever, and it's pleasant to listen to. So that was the first thing that I liked about it. The next thing is that he's just so incredibly honest, like painstakingly honest. It's incredible. He talks a lot about his depression. Now, initially you could be thinking, well, what has he got to be depressed about? He's got loads of money, he's got this huge mansion, he was in a successful band. But he talks about the highs of being in this band and being really famous and earning all this money, to the crashing lows of, trying to get a solo album out and being dumped by his record company. And then because there was a feud between him and Robbie Williams, well, Robbie was always slagging him off, and Gary Barlow just became the butt of everyone's jokes, and he felt that the whole nation hated him, and anytime he left the house people would be calling him names and things. So he just became totally agoraphobic and stayed in all the time and ate, and he actually wanted to just put on loads of weight so that nobody would recognise him. He wanted to be anonymous, he didn't want to be famous anymore, and he was scared to leave the house. And he said that he would be sitting in his studio, and trying to think of songs and nothing coming, and just sit and look. There was just this one bit of, I don't know, paint peeling or something on the skirting board, and he'd just be staring at it and he just couldn't think of anything, and he was creatively blocked. And he just sounded really depressed. And that went on for a long time. And so yeah, it was just so lovely how honest he was in it. I just found that all very endearing, how honest he was. And then so you'd be reading that thinking, God, are people who are going to be reading this going to really hate Robbie Williams for what he has done to him and for how much pain he's put him under? And I'm a fan of Robbie Williams, like I love his stuff. But even I was thinking, oh, that's horrible that Robbie's put him through that. But actually, another thing that was lovely about Gary Barlow is that he just totally took any kind of blame for his side of things, and what he had done wrong in the band, and how big his ego had become, and how much he'd sort of pushed Robbie out in terms of writing things and all of that. So anyway, it goes into all of that stuff about the band and what happened and everything. And sort of takes responsibility for his side of things. And then he talks about basically just being fed up of, I suppose, just a rock bottom, fed up with the depression and fed up with hiding himself away. And I think something happened, that somebody gave him a bit of encouragement or whatever, and then that kind of spurred him on to start writing again and writing songs, and then talking to the boys about reforming and all of that. So he goes through all of that, and it's very interesting. I have watched a few interviews about him. There was, like, he had a really close friend was interviewed on Gary Barlow, and they were talking about that time when Gary kind of isolated himself. And the interviewer said, "Do you think he was depressed at the time?" And the guy was like, "Well, I don't know if it was depression, but he certainly was isolating." And I mean, when you read the book, I mean, it's clear that he was depressed. He sounded incredibly depressed. But you know, and so to me, it's not so much about a celebrity biography. It's more about a story of survival and picking yourself up, moving on, and second chances and trying things again, and it's also about kind of, you know, building bridges and rekindling friendships and things like that. Um, the whole eating disorder thing was really interesting, and his relationship with food now is very interesting. And I liked the way he talked about the celebrity world, about being on X Factor and, you know, doing the Queen's Jubilee, and he just sounds so unaffected by the whole celebrity world. You know, he's not bothered about staying behind for celebrity parties and things. He just sounds like a really nice bloke. And then he goes on as well to talk about the awful tragedy of him and his wife losing their baby and stuff. So it's a very, very personal book. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. So another thumbs up from me. And if you liked it, please, you know, write a comment. That's my cat meowing in the background. Hello, Snowy. And if you want to hear more book reviews, please subscribe, and please like the video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!